Hey, welcome everyone. Thank you so much, EPM, for hosting such an awesome event. I know I was kind of curious how this was going to look today in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and you guys just crushed it. So, very excited today to talk about the edge of expansion. For those of you that have been a part of different trade associations, I know 2021, I think it was in Miami, I talked about really recession proofing your business to be prepared for what was coming. There has been a lot of executors in this room, which I love because they were able to take some of that information and continue to use and have expand their business. I see two of the best in the front here that really attached with that model and have continued through expansion. Edge starting out, and just to give you a little context, 2011, directly after the market crashed, we really wanted to create a resilient purchase-focused platform that was based for loan originators. We really wanted to support the entrepreneurship and the scalability of what I believe this industry holds. We've got to see some amazing talent here today. I know David Temko was on. You're going to see Cortisator, all people that have taken the ability of what mortgage lending is by chopping margins and giving loan officers more with the scalability. My goal today is going to be to share with you how we did it, and hopefully you can take a few things from that and look, what are the next steps for you? How do you want to grow your business? One of the biggest pieces that I've gained being here so far, as a lot of you know, is a lot of the conversations that are had. Last night I had an originator come up to me and ask me, hey, Tom, what's the difference? Like, right? One of the identifying facts of building a company is understanding, because all of us here, we may work for different companies, but we're all working with the same lenders. We're working with EPM. We're working with, you're going to see Chris Vincent from Windsor. We're working with a lot of the same partners. But having an identity to your business is key to you expanding. If somebody asks you, what is the difference? You need to make sure that you have a clear response on what is separating you from not only your competition, but how are you selling what it is that you're offering? Being in the business of growth, for me, it's selling the opportunity to really plug into a system that's going to allow originators to expand themselves. Our goal was to find people that were entrepreneurial mindset, that have the capability of starting their own company. Can we provide a value to originators, especially retail originators? That's primarily our focus at Edge, is trying to find retail originators that find a better, cheaper, faster way that's going to pay them more to continue to expand. Doing that, last year for 2024, we finished with right around 7.1 billion in volume, doubling from 23. Listening to people say 2022 was a bad year. I know I heard David say the market is cyclical. We see the market go from what happened in 2011. We've continued to grow consistently through these market changes, and I think the future of what holds in mortgage is really understanding and adapting to what's changing. Right now, some of the biggest changes that we're seeing are from a technology standpoint. So when we're looking at the fact of, if I want to be able to grow, if you're a 5 to 10 person shop, what is your focus? My opinion, the focus right now needs to be on the technology. Okay, I'm not a tech guy. I grew up on a farm. I would say a little bit hesitant with everything that's been coming out. However, now we're seeing technology rise to the next level. We just rolled out a system at our company called Edge Buddy, which is really, it's a mobile app, ChatGPT, but it put all of our investors, our lenders, our guidelines, everything to be able to make the average originator be able to do more. When you're talking about sales from an expansion standpoint, you need to make sure that that early adoption for technology is there, right? And not only is it there, but that you own that piece of it. It's branded with your information to make sure you can empower your originators to do more. I think going in the future, the average originator, if you're doing $1 million in production, I think in 2 to 3 years, you're going to have to do $2 million a month to make the same amount of money, right? We're going to watch Margins continue to shrink because the reality is with technology, things become faster, they become easier, and they become cheaper. What fueled our expansion within Edge has really been empowering people for the own entrepreneurial ownership in their business. Everyone here, if you ask any of your clients, who did you close your mortgage with? My guess would be none of them are going to say the company you work for. All of us here are business owners. That's what I love about these events, AIM events, all of our industry events, is each one of us run our own business. Looking at that autonomy and adopting to it as a business owner, I think is key. I think it's important to empower your originators to have that freedom of their brand in their own local markets, and really scale on their own terms, right? Maybe they don't want to be the 30-person team and they want to have a small boutique business. How can you support them? Listening to what David mentioned as well that really stuck to me was talking about, being involved with your team, right? If you look at why you work for who you work for, or if you own your own company, your best team members, you have a personal relationship with them. It's really tough to do, but that's where the work as a CEO of a company comes into understanding what is the needs of every person that works for you. How can you help support them with their own personal growth? I also believe, in the broker channel, the flexibility that we have to continue that growth really comes down to what is it that you would look for if you were an employee? For me, I've stayed on the front lines of the business for one purpose and one purpose only. I want to make sure that not only can I lead by example, but I'm identifying the issues of what my loan officers are having. We transitioned to daily payroll. I remember when my wife was pregnant with our first daughter and I had a loan closed and it didn't fund till December 1st. I wasn't getting paid till January 15th. These are the things right now that our retail competition is still doing. It's taking 45, 60 days to get paid. As brokers, we have that capability to speed up these processes and make everything better. So marketing tools are another massive aspect to where if you're looking to grow, marketing in our time right now is something that's free. How many of you right now, if you don't mind with a raise of hands, how many of you get 50% more or more of your business from social media? Right? This is the best free marketing tool ever. I was sitting with a loan officer earlier today who was showing me 80 to 90,000 impressions by just being him. We are in a kind of a sweet spot, in my opinion, right now, where social media has amplified that to allow each one of you to not only build that presence, but highlight what is the culture of your business? What is the culture of your company? When people want to identify, why is it that I would want to go work for ABC Mortgage compared to DEF Mortgage, it really comes down to the culture that's built. And I believe that it's important for you guys here as entrepreneurs to understand that that culture is something that starts from the top. How do you engage with your team members? How do you, amplify their image socially? How are you helping them to, maybe come to this event? I know a lot of the people that are here had help from other team members, right? Something that I believe is key. One of our internal mottos that has really helped us with our growth has been really give the loan officer everything that they want, right? This seems like a statement that when, if you're in the retail world, that's not possible. The broker channel, these things are possible. To me, that's where, the future for us is really in your guys' hands to determine, look at what you have established so far. If you're trying to get from that 5 to 10, what do you need to do to get there? And for me, that was really dual purposing our staff. And I would challenge you all here to look at that and say, hey, if you have 5 people, are they helping you build the company as well? I know for us, we have grown at a scale that wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for the team we have to compensate them for that. I would love to be able to take any questions afterwards if anyone wants help with that part on the scaling piece. What's really helped fuel the expansion and culture of the company has been a lot of the things that we do internally. We're doing weekly calls. We call it Inside Edge, where we're taking and highlighting a team member and showing not only for them, but it's allowing their agents to see what it is that makes it special about them that people want to work with that loan officer. We've put a playbook together that we do greatness trackers, right? These are all things that are metrics that are going to be able to help your team elevate to that next level. If you haven't used a greatness tracker, I got that from Chris Vincent, who's here. An outstanding way to be able to really look at the numbers and say, what is leading to the success of an originator? There are traits that top originators have. They answer their phone, right? That's the main one. Two, they're very active in the community. You have to look and see if you're trying to grow your business as a single originator, it's important that you're very active within the community that you serve, whether that's Facebook, whether it's a country club, whether it's your local trade association. There's a lot of opportunity for them to be able to continue to grow if they're diving into their social network. Part of my job has been to really recreate myself. I have been in this industry 25 years. A lot of my best ideas I used in the first 5 years of business. At that point, in order for you to scale to the next level, I think it's key to identify team members that can replace you. I've done a really good job with this and have had some team members that have done an outstanding job that are here today. Some of you may see Todd Albrecht, who's here. Todd last month did 23 million in production, right? He's helping me right now. Yeah, and the funny part is he's not standing here because I run my recruiting call every Thursday and he's up covering for me. I want to be able to take what I've built and not feel that it's like, not that it's not special. I want to hand the reins over and allow them to recreate it in their business. So another good person too that I just wanted to highlight, Lucy Thornton, who's local here in Georgia. Same situation, came from a retail bank, was able to adopt what we were doing, take that growth to the next level. Same as Aria James, who's here. Aria was the same situation, being able to really dive in, understand that it's her business. It's her job to be able to grow her business. There's nobody else that's going to be responsible for that other than her. Probably one of the best pieces of advice that I ever got, I worked at I think it was the money store. It was the money store. And my manager came in and I was complaining about either pricing or process, and he put a mirror in my cube, right? And he's like, I want you to know who's responsible. Who's responsible for your guys' success? From that day, I understood that looking in that mirror, nobody's coming to save you, right? If you're looking at what does the future hold, not only for this industry, but for you, it's time to really take a deep look and say, what are you doing? How effective are you on your day-to-day operations? If you're stuck on your phone at a conference all day and can't take, 2-3 hours off, are you having the ability to be able to scale and even hire someone to help replace you in what you're doing? For me, that was a simple process of writing it down. I would say the first step, if you're looking to replace yourself, is look, and when I say replace yourself, not completely, obviously, but I mean to be able to hire someone, your very first hire, take a pad of paper and write down on a daily basis. I always have one to the left, which is my to-do list, and one to the right, which is what are the duties that I'm doing that I could train someone? That's how I hired my first assistant. 2011, I hired my first person, and I wrote down that list after 3 months of all of the things that were taking my time away that I could go back and focus what I'm good at. To me, I was great at building relationships. I was good at, if I was going to a country club to play golf, or I'm going to a B&I group. Those are the high yielding activities where for you, even as a one-person business, because everyone here is a business owner. I don't care what company you work for, you own and dominate your role as an originator. And to do that, you need to scale your own business and understand the activities that you're doing, what's taking away from the highest dollar activity, and come up with a formula to do that. I'm going to wrap here shortly and just go over what is the road ahead for Edge, right? I think leading with AI is going to be key. If you are not diving into that right now, I think you guys have all heard it. We're not going to get replaced by AI, but we're going to be replaced by those that do. Talk to people here today and see what they're using that has increased efficiency. Our goal company-wide is to go to an average of 3 closings per LO per month. When I started this goal, we were at 0.7 per LO. I was kind of depressed by that number because if somebody's only closing 0.7 loans per month, you're not making it. You're struggling. I always said you're too broke to pay attention at that point. So for us, we're really trying to grow to that step to where I want to see my team succeed. I want to see 3 per average. We've also been doing things to partner with lenders like EPM and UWM and other great lenders that are out there to help us with our realtor events. There are so many opportunities that this group collectively has that they're doing that we're all willing to share. So make sure that when you're here today, you're talking to other brokers, asking what's working for them. We have some of the best originators in the country here. My closing message to you guys is this. Edge is proof that when you build around originators, you invest in tools, you have the autonomy and culture, you create something sustainable, right? We're not going to go out of business no matter what this market changes because we're built recession-proof. And I think it's key to do that. If there's ever anything I can do to help any of you, please reach out to me personally. Thank you for allowing me to speak. Hope everyone has a great rest of the conference.